Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
We go! Can't you stop? Switch up, switch up. Shoot!
They'll run with the NC State man. It's Jalen Samuels. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. And they'll start on the ground with Hines. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
A pass there complete to Sutton. A gain of 22.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
Oh, we got it. Good job, D.
I know many talk about the kick return as maybe the most exciting play in football. But any type of a return where it's a change of possession, where the defense gets the ball, that's exciting too. But it's not just an accident. Once they get the football, they've worked on finding people to block, creating running lanes for the guy with the ball, and protecting him. And this one was a long run.
Absolutely. They did all of that and more. To throw on 2nd and 6, Roethlisberger. Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton, his 6th touchdown. Down of the season, and the Broncos have taken the early lead. Extra point put through by Succop, and it's now a 7-0 game. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now Rudolph. He's got this complete to Ryan Switzer. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Rudolph going to throw on 3rd and 1. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Rudolph. And an alley to run. Rudolph loses the football. It's out. But it looked like the Steelers weren't able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On second down, Samuels. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a third down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me is balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. So on fourth down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that part. I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly where the
pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. The big man, P.J. Hall, had the path to the QB there. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
He's an absolute oak tree in the pocket because he is so hard to get on the ground. Not as elusive as he used to be, but still, trying to get him down, tough for any defender. In that case, he's able to move just enough. Incomplete pass downfield.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
They'll indeed go for him with Roethlisberger. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here, and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now it's Rudolph. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Back to the air, Rudolph. On the left side, it's McDonald. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, and it is the Chargers who have the lead in the second quarter. The veteran, Phillip Rivers, with a couple of touchdown passes.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. Allen, the intended receiver. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot. And now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Jalen Samuels, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. And there the counter play proves successful for the touchdown. What typically makes a counter play in general successful, Charles?
Well, what you're trying to do, Brandon, is to get the team moving in one direction, meaning the defense. Get them going in one direction and then wall them off with your blocking and bring it back in the other direction. That way, you don't actually have to punish them with your blocking. You just position them. And if you have any kind of a good back, they'll take full advantage of it and gain good yardage.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
After the sack on 1st down, Roethlisberger completes it to Fant on the right side. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a 1st down for him, too.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a first down on a gain of 10. The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through and picking up first downs.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Roethlisberger will throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. He's at the 40, the 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Boswell good with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right? Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack.
I remember throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Going deep here for Allen. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
On third down, here's Samuels. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jalen Samuels with his second touchdown of the game, fourth of the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those two TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have two touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. So they're on that play offensively. They were in the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
A second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time, and it's third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hogs and picking passes off.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.